nothing to the spiritual world, me included. It will swallow you up and you'll be in hell. Talk about, I thought I was the man. I thought I was that girl. Not now. If you were, you're not now. See, what Americans need to do, and I'm going to keep it 100, get over yourself. That's the first way you're going to get to God. Get over yourself. You think you're so much, you think you're so bad, and God will destroy you. That's the problem that people have in this community. You think you're so tough and bad. But and that's New Yorkers, all the big cities. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, all these cities, you think you're so bad. But see, what's gonna happen before this world ends? Something needs to be made clear to people that think they bad. God is on the throne. God rules. Whether you like it, whether you believe in him or not, he will be acknowledged as God before this ends. This is what the whole setup is. And he got his soldiers involved. But the whole mess, all that's going to happen, the message that's coming forward now, as we near towards the end, is God rules over everybody. Everybody going to bow down to God. So all this prideful, haughty stuff, I know you thought you was going to establish some new world. How you know that? How you know America is involved in that? How you know America is not going to be destroyed and then a new world order is going to start with other countries? You're just arrogant enough to think that you're going to make it there. How come? What about if you don't make it to the new world order? How? Because of the things that you do. Hey, people determine their own destiny. Your country has decided to do wickedness and evil. Looks like you're not going to make it. I'm sorry. You thought very highly of your future, that you were going to go all the way. All the way. Partner, I can't see America surviving 10 more years. If it keeps going like this, people getting killed, COVID, people killing their own kids, pushing people in front of trains, how this going to last 10 more years from now? At the rate that it's going monthly. Explain that to me. And that's based on people that have free will to do what they want to do. If God can't make you do something, how can I make you do something? If the devil can't bring the evil on you that he wants you to, because you flatter yourself, you think he like you, he want to kill you now, not tomorrow. And if he can't do it, how can I do it? You want me to tell you what's doing it? Your free will. Use common sense. These people are here doing it to themselves. You done got so superstitious, and I'm not a superstitious person. You have become so superstitious, you don't even make sense anymore. You blaming people like me for why you died. That's how superstitious you have become. It's a difference between being spiritual and superstitious. These crazy people smoke all that good weed and you done became superstitious. I'm keeping it 100. You taking pills, you taking all kind of drugs, and you have become superstitious. Spirituality is connected to reality. Let me say it again. Spirituality, true spirituality, good and evil, is connected to reality. Superstition is not connected to reality. It's figments of people's imagination. Things you're making up. Okay? So what the problem is with a good percentage of these Americans is you're superstitious. Yeah. The devil will let you do anything and take any kind of road. As long as it ain't the right one. And now you sitting up here superstitious. I'm not superstitious at all. I use my faith, and I'm a supernatural spiritual person. That's the best way I can describe myself. Y'all are superstitious because it has no connection with reality. You sitting up blaming Asian people for why COVID happened. That's superstitious to me. It doesn't have any connection with reality. I stick to the theory that a bat with fungus, some kind of bacteria, it makes perfect sense. Bats are can be a very nasty creature. That's not no dog. That's a bat that goes in all kind of nooks and crannies where bacteria has been building up for years and decades. That's what bats do. Bats go into places that humans haven't been sometimes ever, where they got bacteria everywhere, where a human being had no chance to clean it, and a bat goes right into that. You got to realize what a bat is. It's a very, very dirty creature. Going into caves with, you know how much bacteria is in a cave? You ain't thinking. You know how much bacteria is in a cave. Not your backyard, not a dirty closet, a cave. Where no one is going in and cleaning it up, by the way. No maintenance. No maintenance. No environmental services. Can you imagine the buildup of tens and 20? We don't think about this kind of stuff. There's places in geographically speaking in the earth where bacteria is just building up. And unfortunately, there's creatures that go wallow in that. And they're able to adapt to it. And then they come back out to you. What you think you're going to have? What you think you're going to have? Chicken pox? A slight fever on a Sunday night? The sniffles. You think you're going to have the sniffles? And the bat done went up into corners that humans have never been able to go into. 20 years of bacteria. 40 years of bacteria and a bat goes and wallows and goes all up in that. You ain't thinking, man. You are not thinking. I think. And it is very possible for a creature like that to give us some unknown crazy virus. Yes, that is very possible. But you superstitious people want to blame a human being. You want to blame the Asians. It doesn't even make sense. And you running around New York City punching Asians. If that ain't a form of superstition, tell me what it is. You're connecting them to some reality that they are responsible. You gave us this. Donald Trump was he's a very borderline superstitious person too. They gave us the China, what they call it, the Kung flu. That's what he called it. Mad disrespectful. Talking about the Kung flu. Now you disrespect a martial arts fighting style, and insulting the Chinese at the same time. You didn't see that, did you? Insulting the fighting style, Kung fu, knowing that's dear to Chinese people. And insulting the ethnicity of the Chinese, obviously. Call it the Kung flu. And that is in a way insinuating, because you're using that term, that they had something to do with it. That's superstition, man. That's superstition. And here's the punchline. This guy sits back and waits and allows it to grow and fester, because I think he thought it was going to be the equivalent of the bird flu. He thought it was going to be the swine flu or mad cow disease, something like that. One of those. and he thought he would let it get out of control. Because remember, it was election year in America, 2020. And we didn't think about it because we were so blindsided by COVID. Meanwhile, it's election year. Yeah, I'm surprised all your conspiracy theorists didn't make more speculation, didn't make a lot more speculation than they did. You got election year with COVID going on. You see the potential of manipulation, but you didn't think about it. And they did manipulate it, and they found out and did a 46-page report on Donald Trump, and found out that he had an intentional, and his key words, an intentional slow response on COVID so that he could get political points, which obviously those political points being an election year was to get reelected. So you're suffering in reality while you punching Chinese people around talking about Kung flu. Donald Trump is the reason why you got 1 million deaths right now here in America. Not even the COVID itself. Not me. Not the Chinese. Donald Trump gave an intentional slow response to COVID and fled up COVID. It was a report done. Go look. They did a report. This country is a master at hushing the right information, or making you blind to the right information. They send out a whole bunch of different signals, sound bites, usually sound bites, that makes you deterred from, or desensitized to the truth. That's what they do. They send out a campaign of sound bites. When people don't know what sound bites is, words, keywords, sentences, conversations, over and over again to desensitize you or distract you from the truth. You don't think they did that? When people actually had a 46-page report on Donald Trump, on him, and they concluded factually that he had an intentional slow response on COVID for political points. Kamala Harris, October 2020, had a vice presidential debate, and the first thing she said, go back and look at it. Please go back and look at what she said. Kamala Harris, the vice president, is not finna just say some superstitious stuff. You gotta be, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a trick. I'm gonna call it a code breaker. I'm gonna show you a cheat code with the politics. You want me to give you a cheat code? Here's the cheat code. Listen. Here's the cheat code for these politics. You want to see what the truth is about any politician? You want to hear the truth about any politician? Go listen to what their enemies are saying. They're going to dig up all the information. Look at them. Look at these debates. They reveal all the information, for the most part, on all their enemies, and it's right there laid down on a silver platter for you. That's all you got to do. You want a cheat code? That's the best cheat code. You want to know about Donald Trump? Go listen to his enemies. Yeah. Go listen to Hillary Clinton talk, even though we're not talking about who she is. We're talking about how the enemies of Donald Trump reveal who he is. Kamala Harris, go listen to what she said about Donald Trump. And go listen to what Joe Biden said about Donald Trump. Go listen to all Obama, what he said. This is how you find out who Donald Trump is. Because they gathered the information. They're right there. You're not. Right or wrong. They right there and have access to all kind of avenues that you don't even know about. And Kamala Harris, October 2020, with her debate with Pence, okay? She told the first thing out her mouth in this vice presidential debate was that Donald Trump had knew about COVID and did nothing about it. Go Google vice presidential debate, October 2020. That's the first thing she said. And she didn't let it go. She didn't make one statement. She kept talking about the fact that the Trump administration knew about COVID and did nothing. This is your enemy right here. I told you this long time ago. Donald Trump is enemy number one. And I'm not doing it because it's popular. I'm not saying stuff because everybody else is saying it. In fact, in the beginning, I told people that, look, we need to eat this is a statement I didn't tweet it, I put it on Facebook. I posted it on Facebook. We all need to love Donald Trump. That's what I said. Can you imagine somebody saying that? See, while everybody else was talking against him and everything like that, I said that everyone needs to love Donald Trump. You still ain't said it, and you ain't never said it. And especially now, you ain't gonna say it. You could care less whether he's loved or not. I said that. So why would I go from that to all of a sudden attacking him? That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even add up. No, it doesn't add up. And that's what I said. And I meant it. But with time, as time progressed and stuff like that with COVID, he has become the enemy. He sold his soul. See, selling your soul, a lot of people always think it's got to be some satanic ritual or you Americans think that. Selling your soul is selling your values for financial gain. That's what selling your soul or any other kind of gain, power, influence, whatever, gifts, that's selling your soul. When you give up when you do something that you would not do for money or power or influence. Donald Trump sold his soul to be reelected. I can't make this up. So again, it's not a ritual all the time when people sell their souls. It's not a ritual, but it's just as powerful. When you give up your values, you give up things and you do things you would not do from your heart and your mind and your actions. You do something you would not do for money, power, influence. You just sold your soul. You just sold who you are, in other words. That's not there, which is your soul. Make sense? You're not there anymore because you just compromised who you really are, how you really think. So you're someone else. So you sold your soul. And you didn't know that Donald Trump sold his soul. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He sold his soul when he put your lives in harm's way to be reelected. He knew that it was going on. He knew something was going on. He knew this virus was coming. He took and utilized it. That's the best way to put it. He utilized it, trying to get reelected. So he put you in harm's way, had an intentional slow response to COVID to let it flare up Just enough so he can come in and fix it. Did you hear me? He came in. COVID came onto the world stage, and he decided not to respond, to let it create a perfect storm. You can see him doing it? Nah, we're gonna just wait a little bit. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait a little bit. Or he was telling himself this. We're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna let it'll flare up. I'll come in, I'll fix it, and people will sing my praises. People will say he's a strong president because he fixed this virus, and we want him again. We want him to be president a second term. That's what he sold his soul for. And he sold his soul when he knew that's not right. That's not me. That's not what I should do. I shouldn't put Americans' lives in harm's way. In harm's way. And you can't make this up. Satan had the perfect person in there. Because y'all didn't take him seriously enough to kill him, seriously enough to harm him, seriously enough to chastise him even properly. He put the perfect person in there that you would not really do anything to. Whether it be political, y'all just now trying to do something. Why wasn't you doing something right after Kamala Harris told you that Donald Trump had a slow response on COVID for like he knew about it, but did nothing, did not respond. That's what she told you. Why didn't the American community become appalled and everybody was watching? Come on now. We all sat there and watched her. Did we not? Did we not all watch the vice presidential debate? We all did. We all watched it. Right? So why the next day no one was appalled? No one was like, oh man, I did not know that Donald Trump knew about it. Yeah, let's just talk about just this. He knew about this virus and did nothing for you. Didn't care if you was in potential harm because it was election year. And election year was more important than you. Can you not see Donald Trump thinking that election year is more important than you? You think he made you more important than election year? You think a person like Donald Trump, based on the things he has said out of his mouth and his thought process and his actual actions, you think he would have more compassion for you during the election year than him being reelected? He's giving you enough information so that you know who he is. So you think a person like that, based on his actions, not my assumptions, based on his actions and words, do you think he would have compassion for you during election year getting reelected again? You think he would? So if you don't think he would, and he's seen a virus that he could, now for people that don't know, you can use conflicts, chaos, and all kinds of things and utilize them in different ways. He's not a stupid person. He's not stupid. He utilized it in order to get reelected. So, like I said, let it get big enough, let coronavirus, we'll call it the coronavirus at first. Let coronavirus get bad enough. Let coronavirus get bad enough, and then I'll come in and I'll fix it. And everyone will say, yes, he fixed coronavirus. Let's reelect him. That was what he did it for. And it backfired. Here's the next step. The backfired step. It backfired. And didn't go as planned. Even with him, arrogant as he is, it did not go as he planned it to go. He didn't plan to hurt you. He didn't plan to kill you. I don't believe he did. Because some people go that far. Well, he just wanted to kill us all. He just let it get out of control and kill. No, I don't believe that. What I believe is that he didn't want you harmed. He didn't want you harmed. He just wanted it's like I said, flare up enough. He wanted the coronavirus to flare up enough for him to fix it, for it to look like a problem. That's the other part. For it had to look like a problem to the community, and then he solved it. He solved that problem, and therefore it being election year, you seen he solved the problem. Hey, well, let's reelect him. It's election year. He fixed the problem. Come on, guys, let's reelect him. But it backfired 100%. And you didn't see the real face and the real expressions that he probably had of, oh man, probably a stupid look. Look what we have. And we been knew about this, and we could have did something, and I tried to do this and use it in order for people to sing my praises and reelect me. And now it's out of control. It's like a flood. It's like a pipe busting. And now it's water everywhere. And it's so far gone, the backfire state, it was so far gone that no one could do anything about it. It backfired. It did. But you have to come back to holding people accountable. He might didn't want you to die, but he put you in harm's way long enough, and that's the part you hold accountable. He put you in harm's way long enough to go through something. Yeah, that's what you look at. He allowed you to go through something just for a little bit. He didn't want to kill you, but that means that some people was going to have to get it. Some people was going to have to get it to make it look. How's it going to be a problem if nobody get it? Someone had to. He was willing to sacrifice a couple people. I'm being generous, but enough people, thousands of people, but to make it look like a problem, and then he come in and fix it. So he was willing to let some people die. Hey, it's a disease you don't know nothing about. So we can assume that in wisdom, you're either going to when you use wisdom, you're going to say, well, I'm not going to let the possibility of the American community suffer like that. I'm not going to let anyone die on my clock, on my watch. So you can assume the opposite if he allowed it. You can assume the opposite. Yeah, you can. You can assume the opposite. And that's where you hold people accountable. I don't know if that's even too far gone. I don't know if the American community is ever going to come to the conclusion that he's the reason why it's bad here more than anywhere else. And you have to come out of all the superstitions, all the superstitious stuff people told you, all these superstitious thoughts that people put in your head, all the superstitious things that Donald Trump said about how to get rid of COVID and all these things. It's a hoax. It's not as bad as it was. All this was said over and over again. You got to clear your mind of all of that. It's a real disease. This disease was utilized by the Trump administration to get reelected. Okay, these are the facts now. Since the dust is settling from all that has happened from COVID, now here's the facts. The facts is they knew about it, just like Kamala Harris said, way before you did. That's the base. That's the first thing you need to know. They knew about it way before you did. Okay? And after they sat down, I'm just blaming Donald Trump. I don't know what his advisors were telling him. And I'm pretty sure he ignored them anyway. But the bottom line is he knew. That's the bottom line. That's the facts. That's the facts. That's the facts. He knew. Why you didn't. That's the facts. Why you was da-da-da-da-da-da. While you was coming into a new decade, 2020, the second roaring 20s, while you was coming to that, Donald Trump knew. Yeah, we're in the second roaring 20s. 1920s was called the roaring 20s. This is the second one. It's the second roaring 20s. Roaring 20s. Second roaring 20s. And at the top of the second roaring 20s, Donald Trump knew. That's the facts. That's not speculation. That's not a conspiracy theory. He knew. And by the history that we have that cannot be erased in 2020, he did nothing about it. No PPE put out throughout the community. That's the first thing